A bit too high to climb, if the basement I'm looking for were in that building. I'm guessing it lights up when they ring at the main door.
Stupid rabbit.
Would he even notice if I got in?
Stupid pig.
Does he need a shotgun to deal with suppliers?
Stupid pig.
Maybe it leads to the basement.
Oh, stupid duck.
Something tells me he'd notice me no matter how stealthy I was. Or maybe this is the way to the basement and not that corridor. No. The plan will only work if O'Leary doesn't know I've been here. Could it be an elevator shaft? How does this thing open?
What happened? Should we run for it?
Do I look like I'm in a hurry? There's a guy watching TV inside the restaurant. A red panda, I think.
Doesn't ring a bell. I don't recall any panda waiters. Are you done?
What do you think? I've seen two possible ways to access the basement, but...
You really think I can help you with that? What's taking you so long?
You want to switch places? There's a trapdoor in the ground, right by the restaurant. Does that sound familiar?
Huh? The restaurant or the trapdoor?
Okay. Forget it. I need you to go to the front door and ring the bell.
Alright, is there a bar in that alley? Have you been drinking?
Count to 30, ring the bell, then run for the car. Got it?
Whoa, you better send a bunch of Natalias my way after this. So, now what are you gonna do?
I'll open the door with my lockpicks. Once I'm in... I'm still not sure if I'll take the hall or the door on the right. The lock on that door was not your standard model. I had to give it my all. It won't budge. Huh. I was expecting some frozen bodies. The odds are incredibly in Stone's favor. I guess that he's the reigning champion, and Bobby Yale is just a contender, but maybe word got out about his condition. There's one on each table, except this one. Huh. That lizard isn't Yale's doctor. Does O'Leary have a network of pals? Wow. I didn't realize you could place so many bets on a single baseball game. It looks like a summary of all the bets that come in. Day, amount, bet, wagerer. Wait a minute. Did O'Leary himself bet $5,000 on Yale? "16 days until the fight." Sometimes I forget that criminals, even the office variety, have family and kids. Yet another example of how crime always pays. A little thingamajig that adds on its own. What'll they think of next? Could that be Ireland? I'd say that's Ireland too. A Crossler? The good news is, I don't need lockpicks to open it. The bad news, I didn't bring explosives. Even Dunn had a gun in his office. O'Leary couldn't possibly be the exception. Dunn had $200 in his safe. O'Leary had about $20,000 in a drawer. The painting concealed file after file of celebrity reports with all sorts of shady information, ranging from S to Z. Almost all of them were athletes. Is that what O'Leary meant when he said that detectives and police officers were his friends? I wonder how many spy for him. If I were to pitch in, who would I spy on? In Bobby Dale's folder, all I found was a log of his incredible stats as an aspiring champion. 20 victories, 16 by knockout. Although, at the end of the report, someone had underlined one word several times. Untouchable. According to Stone's report, he was so clean, not to mention hard to corrupt, that O'Leary opted for a more subtle strategy. Apparently, when he broke up with the tennis player Helen Moore, he set her up with Stone. Lucky for him, they hit it off. As I put away the report, I stopped in my tracks. Did I really want to risk knowing what O'Leary had on my good friend, the incorruptible police commissioner? I sighed in relief. O'Leary had tried to buy Smirnoff on several occasions, but failed. Luckily, O'Leary had nothing on him, or me. Thorpe had been a rising football star before the war, which he came back from with honors and decorations. After the truce, he resumed his career. He won 3 season trophies and a couple of MVP awards. He retired after an accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down. He started his own sports advertising agency 4 years ago, but according to the files, O'Leary hadn't even tried to corrupt him. Ireland, of course. This guy's obsessed. Limited edition copy 2 of 3. We listen, if you call it listening, to the sentimental romance. Your eyes act like the moon. If they're not together anymore, why does O'Leary keep so many pictures of romantic moments with Helen Moore? Strange as it may seem, the reports revealed that O'Leary had hired Jake as a bodyguard precisely because he was absolutely clean. Apparently, he liked to surround himself with honest people when he mingled with the high society. Helen Moore's file was, by far, one of the juiciest. She had been just a run-of-the-mill tennis player until O'Leary launched her career by rigging enough games to help her climb the ranking. However, O'Leary hadn't fixed any of her games in over a year. In spite of that, she remained undefeated. Be as it may, it was clear that O'Leary had enough information to ruin her career. I'd say O'Leary has threatened Stone with ruining Moore's career. Luckily or not, files in through R included no one that I could somehow connect to the case. Cassidy's report was possibly the longest among all of O'Leary's files. Apparently, their rivalry went way back. So much so that they spied on each other in the most unthinkable ways. At least I was able to confirm what Yale had told me. Cassidy had threatened Dunn after he refused to join the managers' union. The report on Yale's father was the shortest of all, since only his name was left. Why? Dunn's integrity was legendary, even in O'Leary's shady reports, just like Yale had said. Dunn had kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym when he found him snooping around. Jake. Someone was coming.
Are we or are we not exemplary workers, Jimmy? Here it is, middle of the night.
Jake. Someone was coming.
Are we or are we not exemplary workers, Jimmy? Here it is, middle of the night. And we're working extra hours. Hey, Jimmy, what do you think about that?
I think he's scared stiff, Desmond.
Why's that, Jimmy? We're giving you the red carpet treatment. We even let you in the boss's office.
You're one lucky fellow.
You can't say I don't treat you well, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Speak, you moron.
yeah, very well. Why are you...
Shh. Calm down. How long have you worked for me, Jimmy?
3 months. 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I hired you right after your cousin Martin died. I need your opinion. How would you punish someone for ruining an innocent man's life with a hit and run, Jimmy?
I don't know.
And tell me, what about you, Wilson? What would you do?
No, please. I didn't do anything. I swear.
He was a good guy. Of course, you already knew that. You knew him better than me, right?
He was my cousin.
That's why I hired you, Jimmy. You see, Martin was a dear friend. And his widow said you were a nice kid. That you do a good job and you needed the money. And I have a soft spot for those in need.
Please.
But, you know what? I talked to her just yesterday. She told us you did some naughty things to her with that gun, Jimmy.
No.
That's no way to treat a widow, is it?
She's lying. Why would I do that?
What about the kid? Are you so sure you know how long a kid can hold his breath? With his little head inside a toilet bowl?
Son of a bitch.
I didn't want to. It was his idea.
Selfishly, I was glad I hadn't risked my life to save Jimmy. Maybe not even someone like him deserves to die. But one could also argue that I didn't deserve to die for someone like him.
Who's your boss? Give me a name!
Cassidy. It was his idea. He said you'd hired me if I'd managed to scare the widow, and I just...
All right. Let's just calm down now. Okay? It's gonna be okay. There are two sacred principles that rule my life. The first principle is the love for my family. I do anything to protect them. The second principle, I never put my future in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I would even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these two crucial principles, I take matters into my own hands. You see where this is going? For the first time, I got someone killed. Even though all I really did was rat him out.
No, I just...
Stop interrupting me, Jimmy! It's not polite! You're all the same. So rude. You know what? Let's leave it at that. You're going to give a message to that disgusting walrus Cassidy, aren't you?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Yeah, sure.
Good boy.
What's the message?
Oh, Jimmy. You still don't get it, do you? You are the message. Come on. Wrap him up. Make sure Cassidy gets the message for breakfast will you? I hope he chokes on it.
Got it.
Where are you hiding, little fishy? Once again, you didn't get to hear the end of my story.
What? Just where do you think you're going, putty cat?
Two sacred principles rule my life.
The
The
love
love I
you feel for
feel
your family.
for... What is going on today? Two sacred principles rule my life. The first is the love I feel for my family. The second,
You
I
always
always
played
play-
blackjack.
you think you're funny, don't you, Blacksad? Two sacred principles rule my life. The first is the love I feel for my family. The second, never leave destiny in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I'd even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these two principles,
You
I
take
take
matters
mat-
into your own hands.
Seriously, what just happened? Two sacred principles rule my life. The first is the love I feel for my family. The second, never leave destiny in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I'd even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these two principles, I take matters into my own hands. The first time that someone died because of me, even though all I did was rat him out, well, that guy ended up in the Hudson River, right off Pier 27. He's got to be even wetter than that fish by now. You should have seen his face.
It's interesting what comes to mind when you think you're about to die. Suddenly all I could think about was how much I wanted a pet fish.
You too, Bruce? Anyway, I was 14 years old, and I still dream about her, but it will be something.
By then, I was adamant about buying a fish.
But
But first,
that was that. Never again.
Nowadays, whether it's me who pulls the trigger or not, I have zero regrets. What's more, I sort of enjoy it.
The guy never hesitates to pull the trigger. Even if I hadn't seen what he did to Jimmy, I'd know he's not bluffing. His pupils are dilated, and there's a slight grin on his face. The bastard is enjoying himself. In case anyone had any doubts about who's the boss around here, I'll put my dirty feet on his luxurious table to prove that all of this is mine. When a mob boss declares his love of family, it can only mean that A, he won't hesitate to ruin yours, and B, he's cheating on his wife. I knew I had it in me to get out of that place alive. No. O'Leary's wife is having an affair with Colbert? Should I serve this to O'Leary on a silver platter, or threaten Colbert so he'll get me out of this mess?
And, well, that's it, I think. You know, Blacksad, I never made it this far. Congratulations, you're going in style.
I didn't want to interrupt you because I respect you and your word. Colbert told me to come here.
What? Me? No way! You did what? Colbert? When?
Yeah, remember when I called you on the phone? Don't you remember that cocky drunk guy?
No.
He kept bragging about how he was banging another guy's wife.
Oh? Oh, yeah. Weird times, huh?
Yeah, and you congratulated me for finding Yale and saving your life.
Several times.
Then you assured me that O'Leary would thank me.
Well, I didn't put it that way, but yeah.
And then you told me to come here to ask the boss himself.
Yeah. I think you deserve it. Right, Desmond?
Oh, Blacksad, Blacksad, Blacksad. Thank you. And sorry for jumping to conclusions. First, you get a random beating from Wilson. And here we are. when you shared what you'd found in Yale's apartment, well, it made me sort of want to trust you. But as you well know, you can't trust anyone in this world. Take it. It's only fair.
I want to bet it all on the fight.
Ah, so you're a gambler after all. We listen, if you call it listening, to the sentimental romance.
I guess, if you say so.
Same difference. Anyway, go ahead. Place your bet.
I bet it all on Yale.
Oh, Blacksad. Aren't these odd hours to pay me a visit? Your message was important, but certainly not urgent. It could have waited until tomorrow, don't you think?
We cats and wolves hunt at night. I wish I was a noir fiction writer. At this very moment, I could write a couple of pointed, ironic remarks for the narrator to recount what I just lived through. The dark, crooked alleys of New York reminded me of the state of my own soul. No. Fall loomed over me with the... Fall struck me with the full force of my long-lost youth. Nah, not that. Fall descended over me with the full weight of a guilty conscience. God, that's worse.
What were you thinking? He wants him alive!
I felt fall seep through my bones like the pain of a good beating. Mediocre, but appropriate. Against all odds, next morning I got up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And I had my kind, unknown assailants to thank. The beating had taken its toll, but for the first time in months, I had slept like a baby.
Oh, come on, Helen, focus! All right, take 5. We'll work on that double backhand later.
Well, Mr. Blackmore, what can I do for the FBI?
Cooperate with law enforcement. All you have to do is talk.
I like to speak through my actions, but still, could you be more specific?
Maybe if we could speak in private?
Alec!
Coming!
You've got 4 minutes, Mr. Blackmore, so... make them count.
We're aware of at least 6 rigged games during your first year as a professional player.
And?
You won all of them.
Are you trying to offend me? I give my all on the court. I can't be held accountable if my rivals don't do the same. Go interrogate them.
They say you're currently involved with Al Stone, the boxer. Is that correct?
Wow. The FBI sure knows what it's doing. So, out of the 100 million Americans who know about that, who did you extort to get such highly confidential information?
Don't beat around the bush. We know why you're with him.
Oh, so you like his biceps too?
Desmond O'Leary asked you to seduce Stone. Why?
What? No, I met Al by chance at a party. A party hosted by Desmond O'Leary. No, that can't be. No one is that shrewd. Not even him. Damn, I hate that bastard.
We know you smuggle contraband during your international tournaments.
Oh, really? Are you sure? Like, what exactly?
I think she called my bluff. Or did she? Should I follow through or say I was kidding? You smuggle booze.
You're just making it up as you go, aren't you? To think I was starting to like you. Come on, what do you really want from me?
We know about you and Desmond O'Leary.
Wow, your sagacity never ceases to amaze me. Wait, I get it. They must wrap your FBI sandwiches in gossip magazines.
The thing is, well...
You see, I'd love to wipe out that part of my past, but whatever.
Do you have any regrets?
Ads pay more than trophies. Can you believe it? Being associated with such a shady character could only damage my reputation. Trust me, never get involved with a married man. Anyway, at least now I know why you mentioned the rigged games. I can't blame you, Mr. Blackmore. I understand why I seem suspect. Although I doubt the FBI would ever get this involved in a sporting scandal. What do you really have against O'Leary? And please don't say illegal gambling.
O'Leary is a murderer. Every criminal organization has blood on his hands. His is no exception. And we have proof.
Well, what's the big deal? At least it's not a matter of, I don't know, smuggling booze.
I'm serious, Miss Moore. America can't afford to let anyone shake its foundations like that. And America's sweetheart can't afford it either. Help us out. Talk to us.
And why should I, Mr. Blackmore? What do I stand to gain or lose?
I'm sure you're aware that we could end your career if what we know goes public. But no one wants that to happen, right?
This is actually quite simple.
One lucky gal.
You have a light, sir?
The pearly white teeth of someone who barely smokes. Am I making her nervous? Damn. I'm almost out of fluid.
Wanna know my trick? Go down to start, then up with it, and then down again. Don't worry, I'm not making any assumptions about your masculinity. Don't worry, I'm not making any assumptions about your masculinity. Thanks. I don't know what you want me to say. You're trying to frame O'Leary, perhaps rightfully so, but I think you're barking up the wrong tree. Believe me, if I had the slightest...
Come on, Helen. Time to work on your backhand. Let's go.
Do you smoke? Nice meeting you, Mr. Blackmore. Did you bring my water?
She a cigarette in your face? You're such a loser! Too bad I was busy chasing Cassidy. If that had been me, America would no longer have a sweetheart. So, what do you say, you and me, we change places next time, huh?
Your turn. Now tell me, what did you find out?
You're gonna love this. You ready? I've got news, but I happen to also have a
Blacksad.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Blacksad.
Huh? Oh, Mrs. Colbert.
When you told me about my husband, I kicked him out. But this morning he came back with a bouquet of roses and asked me to forgive him. He said he had some kind of big scare yesterday and that he hasn't stopped thinking about me since. He wants to take me to Niagara Falls on a second honeymoon.
And?
I threw the roses in his face and I told him to shove Niagara Falls up his ass. You think I could forget what he's done just like that?
Well done. Now you're talking.
You saved my life, Mr. Blacksad. Send me the bill when you can. This is certainly the best investment I've ever made.
But what just happened? Is there anything you didn't tell me?
Maybe. But now it's your turn. Tell me about Cassidy. Come on, spit it out.
I didn't find anything suggesting that Cassidy had anything to do with Dunn's murder, but...
That's quite the tale.
But I know Cassidy will be playing poker tonight with one Howard M. Farnham II, a Texas tycoon looking to get his claws on the boxing business. I also know that he and Cassidy have never met in person, and that Farnham, who's staying at the Balford Hotel, hasn't left his room. Apparently, he spent the night with 3 bottles of bourbon. So, here's my incredible plan. I'll go to the hotel, I'd knock him out, and then take his place in the poker game. That way, I'll get Cassidy talking. What do you think? Incredible, right?
Didn't we agree that you would handle Helen more while I dealt with Cassidy next time? No?